So this is my first week of ownership of the 2023 Wallke X3 Pro, and I gotta tell you, I'm really disappointed. Oh, not in the bike. No, the bike's great. Problem is I live in the Northwest and winter is still wintering. Well, crap. All week it's been either snowing or freezing wind or hail, so I've only got about 39 miles on it so far. Now, I did those 39 miles bone stock, except for Tannis tire liners, a rearview mirror, some flashing lights, and a really heavy tool bag on the back. Other than that, bone stock. I'm not a mountain bike guy, so at first I was really uncomfortable on that thing. But I attribute that to what I call the new mattress effect. Every bike I've ever gotten, hell, every car I've ever gotten, it's really uncomfortable at first. It takes a while to kind of break in the saddle. So it took me a few miles, but even with that seat, those grips, and those pedals, about a couple miles in, I was smiling. But when I was leaving the house, it was 28 degrees, and that wind cut right through you, boy. Bike performed pretty good, though. I mean, it didn't get up to speed super quick like the H6, but once I got going, I was averaging 28 miles an hour. Hell, I hit 30 a couple of times, and if I got up on the pedals and really goosed it, 31. Range-wise, I'm still thinking 40 miles per charge, and that's throttling off the line, PAS5 while I'm cruising, and the bike's always in 8th gear. So when I got to work, I noticed that my front brake was whack out of adjustment. It was rubbing pretty good. See how my rotor's all polished? That's an easy fix, though. Take your 5mm Allen, loosen these bolts, squeeze your lever, tighten it back up, you're all good. I'm going to call that outer brake pad burned in. So I'm hoping that the weather clears up enough this week that I could do some controlled speed and range tests on this thing without the wind and weather buggering up the results. But first, I got some goodies to make myself a little bit more cozy on this bike. I'm not saying this stuff sucks, but, you know. We're going to go from these to these. Fresh and studly. Now, these grips are pretty, but I got the tattoo artist meat paw syndrome. We're going to go wide and loud. Watch your eyes. These are supposed to come in red. Happy Halloween. They're super cush. Plenty of space. I like them. I've had back and shoulder surgeries, so this fixed neck is a little aggressive for flatland commuting. So this is happening. All set. Few quick adjustments and it's ready for the mountains again. Plus there's space here now so I can do the old screen bracket flip mod. Check out my H6 mods, tips, and tweaks video for that. That feels so much better. Speaking of feeling better, the seat, I actually warmed up to it. It's not so bad. I'm going to try something a little different though. So while I take back most of what I said about this seat, the one off my H6 fits in here nice and snug. Got a suspension post now. Springy. Man, that is so cush. Speaking of cush, a subscriber asked me if these 26-inch wheels are way better than the 20-inch wheels as far as potholes and rough terrain. I'm going to tell you, man, that bike, the suspension's great, especially with the suspension seat post, but it's like comparing an old XJ with slat springs to a Cadillac with air ride. No comparison. This thing's awesome. Super smooth. Now I can take this dumb sticker off. Oh, crap. While I'm down here, I don't know if I've ever mentioned how smooth the bodywork is on these bikes. Wallke really goes the extra mile. Not a single weld to be found. It's like these things were CNC'd with a laser. I just wanted to reiterate, as far as stock stuff goes, these pedals, these grips, the neck, even that seat, they are not junk. They're really nice, but I just like to upgrade. I want to thank Cafferty's Cyclery in Nampa for hooking me up with the Mirrorcycle mirrors, the Ride Race Face pedals, and they even hooked me up with some Happy Hands grips in black in case those orange ergo locks drive me nuts. And of course the Uno adjustable neck. Thanks again, guys. And I always got to thank Tannis Armor because I just really dig their products. I'm not sponsored by any of these guys. I just really like them. Thanks for watching, and I really appreciate all the likes, shares, and subs. You guys are awesome. But slug that bug down in the corner if you haven't already. Definitely join me next week. I'm going to ride this bike up and down a nice flat farm road. The weather should be cleared up, so we're going to get some unskewed numbers for range and speed on this bike. I'll see you then.